Well, hello, fellow addicts. Welcome back to Addicts Live, where we've successfully evaded Scientology capture once again. For those who don't know me, I'm Melissa, your resident head addict. My co-hosts for this week are the one, the only, Super Safi.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
And guess who's back? Back again. The one, the only, Wookster.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Yeah. True. We're very happy to have you back.
I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
And Patrick may pop in if he hides from his wife, because she very clearly made a point that he wasn't doing the show today. Is on vacation out here in New Jersey, so he's spending quality time with his adorable new grandson. So we'll give him a pass this week.
I'm just waiting for your doorbell to ring. Ding, it's actually Pat.
That would be funny, but
that would be awesome.
All right, now it's time for your regular reminder that this show is meant to be interactive. So ask your questions, share your comments below, and join in on the fun, because we always have so much fun. So let's get to it. There is no poll this week. In honor of Mother's Day tomorrow, I want to know who your favorite TV mom is. So share that in the comments below, and we'll share those answers as well as our own later in the show. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But guys, who shot Mr. Burns? And do we really care?
Maybe
That summer was awesome. I just remember watching those 2 episodes live. I remember America's Most Wanted used to air right before The Simpsons. And they had like a special 1-hour episode on who shot Mr. Burns with all these different suspects and everything. It is one of the 2 best episodes if you look back. It's just a historical episode. Are they doing it justice? That's a different story. But yeah, from an episode standpoint, it's really nice for them to bring that back.
I mean, I will say, for anybody that didn't finish the quest line yet, there is a twist at the end. It's kind of lame, not going to lie. So it's not the same person that shot him in the episode. But the dialogue's kind of funny. So, but the twist is weird. But my point, though, is just like, Mr. Burns is such a jerk. Does anybody really give a crap? Like,
well, I mean, Who Shot Mr. Burns Part 1 and Part 2 are great episodes, and just the fact that they did one at the end of one season and made you wait like a whole summer, like that was pretty brave entertainment back in the day. And like Safi said, they had the specials. It's good, and I don't know. I'm happy to see a Part 3. I guess, like, if you like classic stuff, then come back. And then them making fun of Bitcoin just keeps making me laugh.
Yeah, that part's funny. The dialogue's pretty funny. But like, I remember when they did that, didn't they do like a Butterfinger like call in to say like vote for who shot Mr. Burns?
Yeah, they had that too.
I don't even know if was that the actual outcome. Like, whoever won that, was that? I don't even remember. That was so long ago.
No, I don't think so. I think they always had it planned.
Yeah, so that was lame.
Because the reveal is just great. It sets up so much. Here I am, like, over 20 years ago, and I don't want to spoil it.
Well, all right, let's clear. We'll spoil it now. Everybody, Maggie shot Mr. Burns in the episodes. Not in this mini event, so you have to read the dialogue. But if you didn't see the episodes, it's been 20 years, so get out from the rock you're living under, and Maggie shot Mr. Burns.
Yeah. Yeah, and then continues to like be a borderline scary in other episodes. You know, don't mess with Maggie. Don't mess with her.
Well, the funny thing is, and I don't know if you saw this, Walker, or even Saf, the day that the update came out, in the morning I saw the update hit the files, and I was like, oh, this should be interesting. And I remembered like 3 episodes ago, whatever Lisa Gets the Blues episode, the beginning of it, they said, Maggie shot Mr. Burns in 1995. And still no arrests. What's up with this? Yeah. So I put that little video clip in the as a teaser of what was coming in the event announcement post, because I was like, this is just too funny. Like, it's so coincidental that they just put that up. It wasn't like 1995 was 23 years ago, so it wasn't like it was 25 years or 20. It was just like so random to see it.
Right.
And I was like, this is an interesting connection between the two. So, but
This suit burns better.
so let's talk. Go ahead. What were you
I'm
gonna
just
say?
like the sundial, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to get the
So you
sundial
reached out to MS.
of Burns like being dead over it. Like I think that just like is a total win for the mini event.
Well, let's talk about speaking of the sundial and the animation, let's talk about the event itself. What are your initial thoughts as far as the prizes offered and, you know, a little bit of the quest line, the process? We already talked a little bit about the Bitcoin aspect. So what do you guys think?
Go for it, Seth.
I think it's a bit of a mini event, like when you compare it to like the Crackle Barrel Farm one, where we got so many characters. There's no characters. There's one premium offering. Not even skins, just animations for Mr. Burns. I don't know about you guys, but I have quite a few skins and animations for Mr. Burns. If he's not at the rail yard, he's in his gold suit, earning 2.5. So I don't hate it by any means, but it doesn't really stand out. It's not something that I'll be looking back at a couple of years from now and being like, wow, that was such a great mini event.
Yeah, I mean, if you put this into perspective of even just the last mini event, which was the Puff Puff Pass, the quality's pretty crappy. I mean, let's be honest. You've got 3 animations for Burns, one of which requires Maggie, and then you have 2 decorations and a skin for Springfield Elementary. So it's like, these aren't so great. Like, at least you could at least give an actual building. I mean, the decorations don't even, I mean, we'll talk about the one in a little bit, but like the model of Springfield doesn't do anything. I mean, it's just there. Like, and it's so small. It's like, I feel like it should be on a table at least. It's just so small on the ground.
It's there so it can have the animation. I mean, that's what they created it for. I mean, if you're going by the episode, that's a neat thing because it really comes straight from it. Sundial comes straight from it. It just went really literal. I think whoever designed this mini event, they're like, part 3 of Who Shot Mr. Burns. And they're like, we're going to retread everything from the first 2 parts, but then add Bitcoin dialogue. And they're like, yes, make it happen. And they did.
They did.
I mean, it doesn't look like we're going to get like Maggie shooting him in the face, and that's the animation I really would have liked, but that's okay.
No, that's not. Although the him trying to steal candy from Maggie is pretty funny. That's a funny animation.
But she's probably not sitting in a car when it happens. So.
She's in a stroller. So
yeah. So
similar type of but not in the car now.
Right. I just want him dead on the sundial. I might make Burns do that as penance for a while.
Because he's such a jerk.
Yeah.
Because he's such a jerk.
Yeah.
Just make him,
Although, Safi, I can't, like, literally Burns walks around my town wearing that gorilla vest all the time. That's my preferred, like, skin for Burns. See my vest. It's so good.
See my vest.
Yeah.
Made with real gorilla chest.
Wasn't that like the end result if you did all the giant redwood stuff?
Yeah, the
money pile.
Money pile, yeah. So there's some people that still might not get there. Work on that money pile because that skin is worth the grind, I guess.
Definitely.
Honestly, I don't think I put Burns in that skin since I got it.
No. Oh wow, I leave him in that skin all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't play the game like you do, Saf.
That's true.
I don't care about cash. I have almost 200 million, and I don't donut farm, so I can care less about cash. Like, I don't send characters on tasks unless I need to disperse them because they're all grouped in one spot, or I want to see a funny animation. But listen, I've been playing this game for a long time. It's
it's all about Jesus walking on water.
And, that's still my favorite.
And yeah, I don't know, like every once in a while I'll go through and put them on like my favorite animation just for giggles. But then when you like back in the days when we visited neighbors, you used to think like, oh, if I make them funny, and then they don't even see like what you
the same thing exactly.
So they could be doing nothing and they'll still do some kind of animation when somebody visits. So
yeah,
and I mean, in reality, you're in your game for a few minutes at a time. So it's like, you're not really seeing much as far as the animations are concerned. Like, they're funny to see the first time, second time, but after a while you're like, I'm not even paying attention to the animation anymore. Half the time you can't even find the character. So
with the number of characters we have, yeah, they kind of do hide in the background at times.
Yeah.
That's what City Hall's for. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like if you don't remember that somebody's on a task and you're like, oh, or like you're like put somebody on an animation and you're just like, oh yeah, Santa's diving into a pool right now. Oh, I gotta find him. Where did he go? And then it's like, and then when you have a lot of characters, I mean, there's like close to 300 characters or over 300 characters in the game right now. It's a long list to scroll through. I wish they had like a search option, like a type it in and then you it instantly shows you where the character, like in that, even if it's in Town Hall, like type in like Burns and it'll show where he is.
It's alphabetical.
Or even have like all 26 letters on the side, because sometimes when you're going down to like find, I don't know, anyone, is it like Zootroy? It takes a long time to get down there.
But even like some of them too are not in the right, like they're listed funny. Like Quimby is just listed as Quimby, so you got to go to Q instead of M. Or
that's what I was thinking. I was like, some of them are bad because you're looking for the mayor and it's just Quimby, and you're like, son of a biscuit.
Yeah, exactly. So, but back to the prizes. I think EA missed a big chance with the sunblocker. Everybody's been asking for night mode, and everybody's like, oh, that's the perfect way to bring in night mode. It does block the sun, but it blocks the sun for like 5 seconds, and then it shuts off, and it's back to day mode. I think they could have left it so that it was a permanent, like everything goes dark until you tap it again, and then everything goes light. I mean, it's not perfectly dark, but it's darker. It's noticeable. I don't know. I think it's pretty lame that they didn't leave it for longer than 5 seconds.
I think I once told like an addict that they should just like dim the brightness on their phone if they really want a night mode. Like, it's available there that whole time, but
it's never bothered me that we don't have night mode. It's just, I think it's like a big missed opportunity. You bring this thing in, you go through the process of dimming the screen, but for 5 seconds. Why not leave it so that it's a permanent until you tap it again and then it shuts off?
Right.
So I just think it's a big swing and miss, in my opinion.
Remember that, like, at least the very first Halloween or the second Halloween, they actually found a way to make it really gloomy on the screen. Yeah. And within a week, all of us were like, I don't like this. Give me back my bright Springfield. Like, I can't see anything. And we're all like old biddies afraid of the dark all of a sudden. Bring back the sun!
That was my first major event. Yeah, that was Halloween 2013. And I loved it, actually. I didn't mind, but I didn't know.
It's definitely an adjustment when you go from even like from winter back to Green Springfield. Yeah. Green Springfield feels very bright.
It does.
So it's
returning from a deployment to the Middle East. It's awful. It's a true
almost statement. The same thing. Well,
yeah. It's an interesting comparison there.
I'm not a quick person, but when I would be deployed, everything was tan. Everything was tan. Tan tents, tan clothes, tan sand. I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. But when you get back to the real world where there's lots of colors, like if you look at Safi, lots of blue and some red, and then, Lissa's got brown and blue curtains, and I'm wearing a gray shirt. When you first see it, it's like a black and white episode of Gilligan's Island that's been turned into color. And
so it's like Wizard of Oz when it goes from black and white to color.
And then like we would wear the old school green camouflage at the time, and you would see it and you're like, oh my God, that's so hideous. Do I wear that all the time? Because you could see all the colors in it. Yeah. So it's sort of like that, but different.
Good comparison.
Sort of like that, but different.
The premium offering with this, you've got a building. You've got a decoration, which is another chalk outline. Like, how many chalk outlines do we need? It doesn't even offer a decent. I mean, it's 10 donuts, but it offers a 0.25% bonus percentage. I mean, really, EA, you could have at least done it as a 50%, and then at least it's on par with everything else, because then 4 of them equal 2%. But whatever. But then you have a premium character, Dave Sutton. How do you say it? Sutton. Nobody's asking. Nobody, okay. Yeah, 185 donuts. 185 freaking donuts for a character that most people have never heard of. Granted, it comes with a Springfield shopper, but still, really? 185 donuts?
Well, hopefully they've heard of him, but if anyone's going to break the news that prices are crazy, it's Dave Sutton.
I mean, I've had people ask who Fit Tony was. or who just from the last event, a bunch of characters people didn't know who they were.
Okay, well, if Kryptonian stuff are from newer episodes, I could see a lot of like people stop watching Simpsons after like maybe season 10, 15, 20. I find, but like Dave Shun goes way back to like season 2, season 3.
Yeah, 2 cars in every garage and 3 eyes on every fish. You know, it's the Blinky episode.
Yeah, but 185 donuts, is he worth 185 donuts?
He is when you donut farm.
We don't even have freaking Sarah Wiggum in this game. This is what donut farmers are doing. This is what donut farmers are doing to all of us people who honestly pay for this game.
I honestly pay. I spend my time and I get free donuts and then I use them.
I paid for donuts too, just for the record, but yeah.
Well, I just don't ask the blog for donuts currently because I'm not writing a lot and I would feel guilty. So I donut farm. I work the fields so I can support myself.
But that's it though. Like, I just can't believe 185 donuts for the Springfield. Now, Springfield Shopper was a bracket battle building. Seth, I don't remember how far that went though.
It was first or second round. It didn't get that far actually. I can double check, but.
So that's not even like in the scheme of buildings we didn't have. That wasn't even a super popular building. And it's nice to have a newspaper in town because from what I recall, thinking about it, we don't have any newspapers. We have a radio station. We have a news station. A lot of news vans, newspapers. So it's nice to have that. But 185 freaking donuts. I mean, what kind of crack were they smoking when they came up with that price?
It seems on par with some other offerings.
What other offerings? What? Give me one example of a like Bleeding Gums Murphy was expensive, but I think he was even 150 donuts. And he was really wanted.
I think because it's like fake stuff, I just look at it, I'm like, 180, okay. Like, I don't know. Like, I use the price point of the whale at 300 as like ridiculous.
Well, that's the dumbest thing in the game. And
yeah. And I mean,
when you buy a whale, I call you out on it.
Yeah, or when you buy 5 whales and then they're frozen to the floor, like, you know, like, yeah. I mean,
those cold winter nights.
It's like 30 donuts between 150 and 180, and yes, some fans gonna be like, "Oh, but the price point when you pay for it was this," and sure, okay.
It's not even that to me though. Like characters used to be like 150 donuts for a character back in the day was like Luann was 150 donuts or close to it, and that we all were like, "This is nuts," but it was Luann, it was worth it. Like it's Luann, but. Yeah. Like, if Sarah Wiggum came out for 185 donuts, I'd be like, okay. But, I mean, really?
Yeah. I feel you. I'm like, once you donut farm, then it really doesn't even look like, yeah. Like, literally.
That's what donut farming is doing to this game. It's destroying the currency of this game. I'm telling you. My nerd moment.
They get my $10 when they do something cool with the pay $10 for donuts and you get this. They've done it twice and I spent the money both times.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing that they should do because that gets people to spend the money, get a character, plus they get bonus donuts. Like I like those deals.
Yeah,
makes me miss a Gil deal, but you know, a true Gil deal, like back in the day when you got discounted donuts, not 200 donuts for a dragon.
It's been 3 years. I think we need to realize that Gil deal is like just gone. You know what I mean?
I have a hard time letting things go.
Yeah, I thought about that the other day because I was talking with my mom about the game, and I was just like, yeah, like some of these things, I guess we need to be old people and realize like black and white television's never coming back. Like you might every once in a while get a show, but it's not coming back.
Well, they did make a movie in black and white and with no sound. The Artist.
Yeah.
It was made in black and white with no sound. It was actually a very good movie. But I know what you're saying. It's never, you know. And a lot of times when your TV shows black and white, back in the day, you know, before, I mean, I'm only 32, so I'm not, you know, but when I was a kid, we had TVs in our rooms, like the old tube TVs, and if your TV was showing black and white, you hit it a few times because something was wrong with the TV.
I remember she had smack into a lot of TVs. Yeah.
Now I don't think kids understand the true fun of banging a TV or like shaking your Nintendo or blowing on it to get it to work right.
Yeah.
Now it's just they lost the joy. Or CDs skipping, all that fun stuff.
Or like
I feel old.
repairing a VHS tape that had broken up, like opening it up and fixing it with Scotch tape.
Yeah.
What about
having the tape
and a tape? Yeah, and rolling the tape back in.
Or when you had to rent movies and you actually had to rewind them because you physically had to rewind them. So you had to and you had a separate rewinder for just tapes.
Yeah. That's when you got fancy, was when you got that VCR rewinder. Like you could just pop it in and push it down. It only took a minute.
When I was a kid, our remote this is like we've gone so far off the rails, but our remote control. This is a perfect conversation for Pat. Too bad he's not here because we'd get some really good old comparisons. Our remote control for our VCR actually plugged into the VCR, so it had like a cord to it. So you only had like 10 feet of space. You had to sit kind of close to the VCR. It wasn't like these kids today, man.
Well, just ask Pat next time. Back when we used to ride brontosauruses, both ways uphill through volcano storms.
well, that's it. Like I had my cousin this morning posted something on Facebook that was like, remember, kids today won't know what this is like when you had to leave your house with both your iPod and your cell phone because one device didn't do both. And I'm like, I remember when I didn't have an iPod or a cell phone. I had to leave with a big thing of CDs because that's if I wanted to listen to a song, that's what I had, or a mixtape.
Ooh, a mixtape.
And recording the tapes off the radio too. That's
I thought we'd gone into science fiction when I got my first mix CD. Like somebody had burned songs onto a CD. I was like, "What is this?
What is this
is now?"
Oh man!
Yeah.
And
so TSTO.
Well, Charles says back in the day when free donuts were hard to get. It's true. I remember too that the beginning of this game was that 5 years ago. We would write a post like, "How do I get free donuts?" Well, if you do the tutorial and you don't follow all the steps that they tell you to rush, you save some donuts. You get like 20 donuts, and it was like a big deal. Or,
I remember when I went to neighbors' towns and I swore I got donuts and I commented and. No, everyone was like, no way. And then I had to take pictures. And then we had a whole post on how you could get donuts visiting neighbors.
Yeah.
Like, breaking.
And then collecting trash to get donuts. I mean, this game has really evolved. Like, just much like our lives, this game has evolved. Now the free donuts are like, they're like water. They come in bunches.
Well, I remember talking about how generous they were all of a sudden. And yeah.
Remember the first farming post you wrote about the bloodmobiles? And that was before they had the XP collider and all the other stuff. It was like, look at this.
Yeah, and I think I netted like 150 donuts from it. And I was like, wow, like, this is amazing.
So now they're generous with donuts, but they're stingy with land. So
yeah. I still don't need all that land. Like, I really don't. And I have everything.
I haven't touched my land, so
I still have
lots of strips.
The outskirts of my town are like dystopian dumps because I haven't really like put anything from an event anywhere in like a year. So
been there, done that.
Well, you wouldn't qualify for Pat's videos then, Joe.
That's fine.
He already told me I don't qualify, so.
There's some really nice portions of my town, but then you just get down to the bottom right corner or up in Springfield Heights, and it's just a dump.
Yeah, well, it's got a lot going on, too. It's hard to... I have no problem if you have a nice town, and then you just plop stuff from events like down in one area because you just can't figure out how to put them in or you don't have the time to put them in. Eventually, you get back to it. It's the way I look at it. But when you have a town that's like you nuked and then you're just dumping stuff, then that's no bueno.
Well, I think the last event, I was like, man, I get to add to my casino district. But because I've built around it, I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Like,
yeah, I'm in the same position. Like, my casino district is so packed in. And now with all these new casinos that came in, I have no place to put them in that casino district.
Yeah.
I just stored like a million things. I don't have patience anymore. I just started storing things. Like, I don't need this. That's all right. This can go in inventory. Unlimited storage, guys. Unlimited storage.
I looked up the Springfield Shopper. So I actually had it as my number one ranked business or factory, and it was actually upset in the first round by Quitters by 5 votes. So number 8 seed Quitters, which is also in the game, took out number 1 seed Springfield Shopper by 5 votes.
Maybe that's why it took them so long to put Springfield Shopper in, and Quitters came in so much sooner.
So if 5 of you didn't vote for Springfield Shopper, I blame you guys.
That's why it's 185 donuts, because you didn't vote for it, guys. That's why.
Well, like, so Dave Shudden, I was like, oh, cool. I remember him. But then the Springfield Shopper is what like swayed me. I'm like, I need this in my town. That's like classic Simpsons.
I spent the money for it too because of the same reason. But I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was a ridiculous price. I'm sorry.
Then the first thing he asked for was a minnow pond, and I couldn't believe that I currently didn't have a minnow pond in my town. I was like, wow. Like, I remember
that's surprising because Chalmers uses it too.
But I because I've been doing the 4-hour like tasks, that's not like, you know what I mean? That's like Snyder's 12-hour task and Chalmers' 24-hour task or something.
Yeah.
So I just haven't had a need for it, and I was just sort of shocked.
You need 3 minnow ponds in a row and just set them all on their fishing task.
Right. Yeah.
Lazy Saturday. All right. So the other thing too with this event is there's no special with this event, as I like to call them. Like, there's no event. There's no like game. There's no, even with Puff Puff Pass, you had like you unlock that extra animation. There's really nothing great about this. Like, it's kind of like what Joe said originally, where it's like they just said, okay, we're gonna bring all this stuff in from Who Shot Mr. Burns, and then that's it. Like,
and talk about Bitcoin. Don't forget the Bitcoin.
Talk about Bitcoin, yeah, and make Bitcoin so we bring it up to 2018 speed.
Although, enjoy your break, tappers. Like, this is the very definition of a break.
Well, and that's what I always say. Like, Pat, I remember when it hit, Pat was like, oh, I sent all my characters on 24-hour tasks right before this hit. And I was like, dude, it's a mini event. You'll finish it by Tuesday. Relax. Like, there's no like, I'm almost done with it. And I've been maybe clearing my town like 2 or 3 times a day. It's not difficult at all.
I got the town model, I think, just recently this morning. Although I didn't look at what the prizes were, so when I first saw it, I was like, "Is it a melted playground?" And then I had to zoom into it, and I was like, "Oh, nice!"
And it's like, there's still like a week and a half of this left. So you finish this event Wednesday, you've got a week of downtime, and everybody always complains, "I want downtime. I want downtime." Well, guys, I tell you this every mini event. This is your downtime. Use it wisely, because that's why these are 2 weeks, because they don't take 2 weeks to do. You have 2 options. You can play continuously and finish quickly, or you can log in once or twice a day and finish the mini event, but still, like, that's your downtime. So enjoy it, because I'm pretty sure when May 23rd comes, we're going to get a full-blown event. So
yeah, like I tapped once Thursday evening and once last night. I'm working on part 2 of the quest still, but I'm not stressing at all. Yeah, this is your downtime,
and that's it. You gotta use it wisely. Couple of comments on this. Amy says, although I really enjoyed the Springfield Jobs event, I'm pretty happy it's over because it was so long. I'm really liking the mini event, all the content. I think it would have been kind of nice to get a Mother's Day event. Maybe EA will do that in the future, as well as a Father's Day event. I was hoping to get Sarah Wiggum around that time, but hopefully she'll be in the game soon. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Don't worry. I've got some pent-up rage about that. I'm always looking forward to whatever new content is coming next. I'm especially happy that you're doing an episode of Addicts Live today, because today's my birthday and I'm turning 33 years old. So I view it as a nice little birthday present. Well, Amy, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
They say it's your birthday.
You get serenaded.
On Wednesday, it's my birthday too. So happy birthday. I don't know.
So Wookie's fishing for birthday presents.
Birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday, Amy.
There you go.
I'm not gonna sing because I can't carry a tune in a bucket. But happy birthday.
She's the birthday. She's the birthday. She's the birthday. Birthday boy or girl.
That's what we need. We need Wally Weasel in the game.
Yeah. Well, we got the building, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do.
But yeah, I Wally Weasel like walking around. That would be great. More mascots.
Yep.
So we need more NPCs. As long as he has tasks, I'll take it.
He's got the task. Sing to boy or girl.
Yeah. But he's got to be voiced. He's got a voice to sing that. Happy Tapper says, so nice to see Wookie. Hi, Wookie. And are we assuming we'll get a part 4 where we get suspects, clues, and can theorize who shot Mr. Burns? Because that would be cool. Enjoying the laid-back event because I really need to start rebuilding my Springfield after a nuke. There is a part 4 in the quest line. So once you finish the prize track, you move on to part 4. So you move on to who shot Mr. Burns in parentheses, part 4. But that's where it goes off the rails a little bit. So you don't really need to theorize about anything. There's no clues to follow. It would be better if there were clues to follow. It basically sticks pretty much to what the show does, but then it goes off the rails. So I don't want to spoil it. We'll talk about it. I'll talk about it later, and I know maybe in a post because I don't know that we're gonna. Next Addicts Live will be after this event, so I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But it goes off the rails, just a little bit. All right, so let's talk about Mother's Day because that is tomorrow. So make sure you all say happy birthday to your mothers. Don't forget.
Happy birthday.
I'm pregnant. My brain doesn't work, okay? Make sure you say happy Mother's Day to your mothers. My brain does not work.
To your mothers. That's
my mom's birthday was yesterday, so oftentimes.
So make sure you say happy birthday to your mother, Savvy.
Most times it falls on the same day, so it works out well for me.
And if Amy's a mother, make sure you say happy birthday to her because it's her birthday.
Yeah.
And you say happy birthday to Wookie because his birthday's next week. My birthday's next month. So you don't need to say happy birthday to me. But if you do, I'll laugh. So it's okay. So
happy birthday, mothers.
I'm losing my mind.
Like I want to, if only I could contact Andrew and be like, here's your mission. Teach Riley to say this.
She will. If you tell her to say it, she will. She'll say it. She'll sing it too. But yeah, the best part is though, you corrected me and I was like, no, I'm right. It took me a minute to realize what I said. So yeah, say happy Mother's Day or birthday, whatever your word choice is to your mothers, but not your fathers.
Well, maybe it's the first mother, or Eve, maybe it was her birthday. So maybe that's why they chose this day as Mother's Day. So maybe it is the birthday of mothers.
That would work, but it's not Mother's Day in the UK. So in the UK, maybe you should say happy birthday to your mom instead of happy Mother's Day. Otherwise, you're really late.
If you're a big Star Wars fan, you can say happy You Gave Me Life Day.
There you go.
There you go. Happy Life Day.
And Amy says, thanks for the birthday wishes and singing. It made me smile. So
you're welcome.
All right. So back to Mother's Day. We've got Who Shot Mr. Burns in the game right now. EA missed the perfect opportunity to do a Mother's Day tie-in, i.e. bring frickin' Sarah Wiggum into this dang game because we've all been asking for her. I wrote a post. I went back and looked at this. I wrote when we used to do character posts, we had a series called Mad Men of Springfield where we cover male characters. And then we had Real Housewives of Springfield where we covered the female characters. We don't do this anymore because they're very time intensive. And but back in 2014, so 4 years ago, I wrote a post about how we needed Sarah Wiggum in this game. It was really more like a research paper. By the time when I reread it, I was like, wow, I wrote a thesis in this. I had all kinds of supporting documentation. I was like, no wonder why I don't do these anymore. But it's been like 4 years, 5. Where the hell is Sarah Wiggum, guys? Where is she? Like, this was a perfect opportunity to bring her into this game. We thought Valentine's Day, but this would have been perfect. And they swung and they missed. Like, this is, I don't know, not too happy.
They didn't even swing. They weren't playing. Like
they didn't even step up to the plate, okay?
Yeah.
See, I'm starting to feel like you have very little influence on the game all of a sudden. I feel like I have a lot because all the bracket battle characters and bracket building characters are starting to show up, or bracket battle buildings.
But Sarah was in the bracket battle.
But I had when we did the New Year's episode, you and Pat said you want to see Sarah Wiggum in 2018. I said she's coming in 2019, so I feel like they're listening to me.
Oh wow. So
we've certainly given Safi a big head.
Is there even anything from Mother? Are they doing anything for Mother's Day?
No, there's nothing. They like completely just whiffed on this one, and it surprises me because it was a good opportunity. Like this event, sometimes the events don't end cleanly, so you can't really do anything. But this event ended perfectly. It ended the Wednesday before Mother's Day. It's a perfect opportunity to slip right into something and do some kind of mini event around that. So I actually was really anticipating that because I thought that would be the perfect thing. But who knows? Maybe EA just hates me these days.
Yeah. Safi, I remember when I used to be the Wookstradamus who like prognosticated what was going to happen.
I think ever since we had Pat on the site, EA hates me. So
yeah, they go to other sites, I guess.
I don't know that there are any more other sites, but okay.
Like, well, there's a wiki, I guess.
Yeah, the wiki.
Yeah. We got a wiki. You got a wiki.
Wiki. All right, so I just think this would have been a good opportunity to do some kind of Mother's Day tie-in. I realize it's not Mother's Day around the world. I get that, but this game has always been America-based because Springfield, while we may not know where in America it is, it very much is in America. So we celebrate 4th of July in the game, so it kind of surprises me that we didn't see anything for Mother's Day this year. That's just my personal take.
I feel you.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Good.
I was hoping they were going to make you happy. Like, just make pregnant Alyssa happy. Please, EA. But, yeah, they don't care.
Okay, if they brought Sarah Wiggum into the game, who would be your most desired character?
Besides her?
Besides her, yeah.
Oh, they already brought in most of the stuff I actually wanted.
After that, I would want the baseball players from Homer at Bat.
Oh, jeez.
I think that'd be brilliant. Some Tom Mattingly having to shave his sideburns. Brilliant.
Roger Clemens checking like a chicken.
Could they get away with just doing like a softball field where there's like an animation on it that has them, but where they're not actual characters, so they don't have to pay like pay for them?
Then it would be like Field of Dreams.
I would love to have like Bart in the bleachers just yelling at Daryl Strawberry. Daryl. That would be so good. And then you could have Homer with Wonder Bat, like, hitting the ball, and it could be really fun.
I concur. That's the best episode. And I know not
everybody. It's my favorite too, yeah.
That is the best episode. Look, I know. You're monorail. I know.
Yeah. I mean, it happened. But Lyle, actually, there you go. Lyle Landley. I want more than just that brief appearance. Like, just bring him in as a character. You already even coded him. Like, so just do it.
We had our first softball game this past Monday, and yeah, the Daryl chant came into play. So it's not only is it both Alyssa and my favorite episode of The Simpsons, it's an iconic episode for almost everyone.
Well, I have a softball jersey that says Homer on the back, and I called my bat Wonder Bat.
There was a playoff game, 2012. Pittsburgh Pirates were playing the Cincinnati Reds. I think it was 12 or 13. And the Pittsburgh Pirates fans were shouting, Cueto. I was giggling.
Did you go to the Hall of Fame thing, Alyssa? The Homer stuff? You haven't been up there yet?
I think was I pregnant when that happened? I was either pregnant or had a very small child, and it was just too...
A small child.
Yeah, it was just too hard to... That's a long... I mean, it's a doable drive, but it's like 4 hours, and thinking about spending 4 hours in the car with a infant, not fun.
Gotcha. I watched the documentary on it. It was really, really good. I loved it.
Okay.
All right, so real quick, who is your favorite all-time TV mom, cartoon or not?
It's Marge.
Okay.
Yeah, Marge Simpson.
Safi.
Yeah, aside from Marge Simpson, I'm trying to think of other TV moms. I mean, there's so many. But yeah, I would have to go with Marge Simpson, really.
When I was a kid, I wanted Peg Bundy to be my mom because I actually like thought she was pretty and she was like sassy and so different than anybody's mom. So I'm not saying she's a good mom, but and then June Cleaver seems like she'd be a pretty good mom. So I don't know.
I don't know. I'm a fan of Jill Taylor from Home Improvement.
Oh, that's a good one.
She's that sassy. She's got that sassy too, which kind of reminds me of me. And not too many people participated in this question. Apparently, I swung and missed this one.
I know. I don't want Wolowitz's mom.
Howard.
Although my impression of my mom sounds like that. Joseph. But she doesn't sound like that.
She doesn't.
Yeah, and recent. If you want to see what my mom sounds like, plug Laughing Up Fuzzball. She's on my Mother's Day episode.
There you go. And Amy said that her favorite TV mom is Marge Simpson. Her favorite TV mom is Marge Simpson and Carol Brady. So
I was thinking of Carol Brady, actually. Yeah.
Ebron has the best answer.
Ebron says Morticia Addams is her favorite TV mom.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. She's yeah.
Mic dropped.
Or Mrs. Munster would be a good.
I was going to say Eddie Munster's mom.
Yeah. We don't know her name. It's either Mrs. Munster or Eddie Munster's mom.
Eddie Munster's mom. Listen, if you have to be Eddie Munster's mom, man, takes a special lady.
Little werewolf boy.
Then again, if you're married to Herman Munster, it takes a special lady. So.
Well, who's worse? Is Grandpa Munster or Fester a worse person to have to deal with? Who's a bigger saint for dealing with them?
Well, I would think Fester's worse.
Yeah.
Grandpa Munster is a little odd, but I mean, he always turned into a bat, so
yeah,
there really was never he was just off the rails a little bit, but Fester's just weird. Like Fester was always just odd.
The Munsters are great, though.
Let's see.
Off
all right,
the rails again.
All right, real quick, let's talk about the rollback bug. It is still terrorizing TSTO players on a daily basis. Every day, I'm still getting more players reporting that they have it. They don't even realize what it is. This is becoming a really big problem, as if it already wasn't a big problem. I mean, the Safi, you're telling me 2019 they're going to bring Sarah Wiggum. I'm worried that there's going to be anybody playing the game in 2019 because everybody's going to be impacted by this glitch. It's a terrible thing. And there's still no word from EA as far as what's going on other than they're working on it, which they've been working on it for 6 months.
The bugs have been continuing. I mean, aside from the rollback bug, which fortunately, knock on wood, I haven't had. One of the bugs I started experiencing with this mini event is that anytime I send someone to the rail yard task, my game just gets to such a laggy point that I can't move to the screen. I can't click on a character. I can't do anything.
That might be a device issue, though.
Yeah.
That could be too much space on not enough space on your device. I'm wondering.
Excellent. I was going to bring that up to you before the show started, but I just got here like a minute before we went live.
Yeah, I mean, you joined the show 30 seconds before we start. I mean, it's hard.
All right, so
that might be a device issue. That might be you might not have enough space. This, I will say, and a lot of people are getting this too. If you get an issue with your game where you go in and every time you go in, you have to log in and it re-downloads the game, that's a space issue on your device. You need to free up space on your device. You need like 3.5 to 4 gigs, and I recommend 5 free for this game, because otherwise it's just going to continuously re-download and it's really obnoxious and takes forever.
The other thing is when I clear the tasks from the rail yard, everything seems to be working completely fine. If I send other characters to the task, to the little quest line for this mini event, no issues. It's just when I send them to the rail yard specifically.
That's weird. That is weird.
Yeah, I'll check out the space.
First,
yeah, the space is pretty full. I do know that. So yeah, that's.
So that it could be,
Yeah, I'll try clearing space and see. I'll give you guys an update in 2 weeks.
I would hope you'd give me an update sooner than 2 weeks.
You sooner.
That's funny. Hey, it's Riley.
No, that's not Riley.
No, that's.
Was that on the Safi end?
Yeah.
Jeanette Kohler says her name is Lily Monster. So we forgot her name. It's Lily Munster. And Charles says his favorite TV mom is June Lockhart.
Okay.
That train is coming from my house, even though I'm inside.
Well, your train is making the babies at Safi's house cry.
Apparently. Apparently. So yeah, on the rollback glitch, it's still awful. It's horrendous. And, you know, I feel for all you guys that have it. I worry that any one of us is going to get it. Fortunately, knock on wood, we've all been able to avoid it so far. So we're good. But it's bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah. So hopefully EA fixes it and brings Sarah Wiggum into this game and my damn giant toilet.
That's funny.
So yeah.
Hey, if Scientologists can have their own TV channel, Alyssa can get what she wants. So seriously, there's commercials for it. It's driving me crazy.
There you go. I mean, yeah. They're probably worse out there than they are here.
Yeah. Oh, you get them in Jersey too?
I've seen a couple. Usually, though, they're like during the Super Bowl. You see them, and that's
because
there
was one during the Super Bowl. Yeah.
But yeah, we don't see too many of those. We don't get a lot of those. When we moved, our old town, we used to have a lot of like people knocking on our door trying to change us to their religion, but we don't get that anymore here, thankfully. No. So
I find I don't watch commercials.
Jesus town.
I stream everything online, so yeah, I really don't see many commercials. So I'm not sure what's going on as far as Scientology in Canada is concerned.
Scientology. That's what we should. That should be our research for our next episode. Scientology in Canada. All right, so that's it. It's a good way to end the show. That is going to be it from us. The next episode will be May 26th, which is the Saturday before Memorial Day here in the U.S. So hopefully we'll have a show. But then we're going to drop down to one show a month for the summer. Unless something crazy happens that we really need to talk about. We talked about this last episode. So like if they ever fix this rollback glitch, we'll have a episode about it. But just for the summer months, we'll drop down to one show a month because it's getting really hard to, even this month, it was getting hard to arrange everybody. So we will be back in 2 weeks. Anyone else have anything they'd like to add?
Nope. Bracket Battle's about to start up again this summer, guys. Get ready for the fourth edition of Bracket Battle.
Yeah, so instead of a 2 episodes a month, you'll have a bracket battle.
Sounds good.
There you go. So, all right, guys, everyone enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of the event and your downtime. So just enjoy. And make sure you say happy birthday to your mothers. Even if it's not their birthday, they might commit you.
Mothers, it's your birthday, mother. Yeah.
There you go. All right, guys. We will see everyone in a couple of weeks. Enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye, friends.